Good morning and good day to you all. What's up, guys? It's Sharpedos. We are back with week 2 of the GBA. This week we're playing my opinion, the biggest threat in the GBA this season. The New Orleans Pelippers, formerly the Orlando Melodics, but this time it's owned by one and only Pokemon. Great guy, definitely a good friend. Good friend in the GBA. So let's get off to the battle. I lead with Swampert. Standard, go for rocks. This is probably the only Pokemon I have on my team that has the capability of running rocks. And he leads off with Conkeldurr. He told me that he had knockoff on it, and he led with it just specifically to knock off whatever item I had um, on Swampert or everything or whatever I led with. But he kind of expected Swampert, so he goes into Fortress, a very obvious switch, trying to spin away those rocks for Talonflame and for Rotom. Um, the one thing that we can say about both of our teams is that we didn't want rocks up. In my case for Charizard and Arcanine, in his case for Rotom and for Talonflame, we were in the same boat that we needed to ensure that rocks were not on the field. Um, so you see, he goes for the spin with Fortress, and that was no big deal. And he goes into Rotom, which is obviously a direct counter to Charizard Y. And I can't really do much here. But however, I did attempt to predict the switch by going for Focus Blast. I miss. It didn't really matter. This Rotom, I was just trying to feel out what kind of set it could have been. Special defensive, a little bit of mix, whatever. Maybe Assault Vest. You never know. So he just Volt Switched out. This Latias is calm with I think max HP and max speed. It's a calm mindset. But he goes into Meryl. Now, if you see here, he's got a lot of preferable switches. Rotom on Charizard. Azumarill on Latias. The one thing I will say about the beginning of this battle was I couldn't quite get a foothold into John's team. Um, my every attempt of mine to try and create some kind of momentum was just, what am I saying here? It was kind of countered by his team. We each had things to somewhat stop each other. Like, I mean, Swampert to Rotom. Right here was a little interesting. I was convinced, I was absolutely convinced that he was choice, but no. And I never actually figured out his item. As you see, he bluffs it very well, which I give him props for because I didn't quite see the Will-O-Wisp coming. I thought it was just a spec, scarf, whatever. I was actually expecting the trick, coming in more than anything else, because I guess I'm so used to running and seeing more trick Rotoms as compared to um, uh, mixed ones or whatever the hell that one was. Anyway, good Latias. He goes back into Marill. I couldn't do anything about this Azumarill during the battle. It took me a while to actually kind of crack open his team. Actually, for either of us to crack open either of our teams, you see it's a lot of switching between, well, in my case, like 3 or 4 Pokemon being, Arcanine, Azumarill, Swampert, and for his team, Conkeldurr, Is that Azumarill on my team? I'm sorry, guys. Swampert, Arcanine, there it is, and Latias, his team, Conkeldurr, Fortress, and Azumarill. So anyway, I go for the safe Morning Sun just to get the HP back. I knew that after an Intimidate, Play Rough wouldn't do that much, but it's good just to get that HP back because Arcanine was my defensive wall. All right, this play might look really dumb, but I was trying to predict. I was trying to predict something here. I was trying to predict him to either go into Azumarill or to. I was actually also scouting for the Stone Edge to see if he had it, because if he did, that's obviously a huge threat to my Charizard, and if he didn't, and he kept going for Drain Punches, I was a little more convinced that maybe he didn't have it. Now I go for Flamethrower there over E-Speed and Will-O-Wisp, especially Will-O-Wisp because I don't want to give him the Guts boost. But just to see if it really was Assault Vest, and I'm pretty convinced that it is Assault Vest. So yeah, going to Starmie because I figured if he's setting to going for Drain Punches, I'm just gonna stay in and continue to just to try and make some plays now. So I go into Starmie, he goes into Terrakion, and I kind of thought there maybe he didn't have a move to hit Starmie super effectively. Unlike our Week 1 battle where Kyle had X-Scissor on his Kabutops, maybe he didn't have it on his Terrakion. So he switches out. I don't know if he was predicting the water move or whatever, but I go for side shock, and 2 side shocks take out the rotom. That's the first kill we've had, and we're already 5 minutes into this battle, guys. So I go for the Scald. If I had Surf or Hydro, that would have killed, obviously. But again, that didn't really bother me. I figured I could take him out with 2, no problem. So he goes for Rapid Spin. He gets the rocks away. I was okay because I mean now he can bring Talonflame in for free, and Rotom obviously is not gonna take that much. But his spinner's dead, and my rock setuper is not. So I figured Starmie was still useful. So I go and I switch out after I knock out. So now it's 6-4 in my favor. Um, he goes into Talonflame, or he switches out. I don't know why. I don't know what he was predicting, but he switched out. But when he switches out here, or even when Conkeldurr was in, I'm like, oh my god, Stealth Rocks, and there it was. I got rocks up now, and they're up for the rest of the game. So I think right here, I think John was pretty much set to just to stay in with Talonflame. I think if he had Swords Dance there, this battle would have been much different. So I'm kind of hopeful he was that he didn't go for Swords Dance. Um, so I obviously see now he's leftovers, and this Latias is at full HP, and I did a calc, and I have T-Bolt on this for Azumarill namely, and I was like, all right, this will do a good chunk of damage. All of the damage, that crit obviously mattered, and he said that, I said that, but I'm kind of glad I got that crit because that thing could have went to my team. However, I think I would have been able to handle it if I T-Bolt and he went for Brave Bird on the next turn. It probably would have KO'd, but he would have taken massive damage. Anyway, switch out. He goes into Terrakion after I take out the Talonflame. So now it's 6-3. And he obviously is scarfed. He's obviously scarfed. That Latias I figure was important later, just to get damage off because it's at full HP, and I think it could live one Stone Edge from this scarfed Terrakion. So I go into Starmie, and I don't think he wanted to take the stone. He didn't want to risk Stone Edge missing and having to deal with that. So I get another crit on the Azumarill. I don't think that. Well, it probably did because he had knockoff, so I think he probably could have taken a second hit. I don't know if he could have taken a T-Bolt plus a Psyshock, if it wasn't a crit, because this Starmie's expert bell, I think. But it's neither here nor there. I think he probably could have KO'd me. He probably could have lived with it a little bit and KO'd me back with knockoff because he did have knockoff. So goes to Stone Edge. That's the third one I think he's hit now. I think second one. He missed. He went for 3. So he knocks out Starmie. But Starmie did a lot of work this match. I was humbly surprised. This was just an attempt to bait a kill for Scissor. But hey, the Life 4 bullet punch damage. I'm not complaining about that. I switch out because I kind of recognized that Scissor was my win condition in this Scissor and Charizard. Scissor being the bullet puncher for Azumarill if it was still around, and Terrakion, and Charizard for everything else. Especially because Azumarill can't really take fire moves or any moves in the sun. Anyway, Air Slash, Conkeldurr, dead. That's it. So now we are, I was pretty, excited at this point. I thought I was gonna get crushed because last season when I faced this team, obviously not with these new types of threats, I got my ass handed to me because, Moody pretty much served me with this Terrakion right here, as it is right now with, pretty much killing 4 Pokemon. But I think this time I game planned a little bit better to take on a team of such massive attack and strength. My team is also a little more balanced this year. So, 2 Stone Edge. Stone Edge obviously takes out the Charizard. And it takes out this Latias. But the Latias was good because I need that Dragon Pulse damage. I knew that Bullet Punch from where that Terrakion was at was a questionable KO. It was like 85%. I think that Life 4 Bullet Punch to like 80%. But hey, another free kill for Scissor. That means Scissor is now 5-0 in the GBA. Hopefully we're going to see a lot more kills from the Scissor. But I won. All the credit to John. John's a great player. I'm actually really excited that he is in the GBA, and I apologize for all the crits, but that's why we play him twice, guys. And I think our week 2, our next time we play, I think is in week 13, is going to be a great battle. I hope to see a little bit less hacks in that one, but this time I'm not really complaining. But hey, Sharpedos are 2-0, and I couldn't ask for anything better. I was expecting to be 1-1. 2-0 is great, and we will keep trudging on from here. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. I will upload this, and have a good day while I'm at work. Peace out.